Hello folks, Mike Parsons here at Bluegrass with Friends, and my friend Anne-Marie was asking a question about an E scale after that last video. Little girl, don't lie to me. And so I realized that I didn't have a good video for fiddle scales, so here's what it amounts to, okay? There are only really 4 shapes of major scales on the violin. And so the way I determine which shape I'm using is by the place where the scale begins. So hang with me here, all right? The open D scale starts on the open string. And it also is the same as the 4th finger on the G string. Same note, okay? So the open string and the 4th finger are the same. And so what we do is we take our recipe for a major scale, and this is based off of a piano keyboard. So you have a whole step. You notice there's a space between D and E. E to F sharp is a whole step, and then we do a half step here. You notice that this finger is closed, that's the half step. And then here's another whole step. So we've got, let's start from the beginning. Whole, whole, half, whole, whole. And so from the 3rd finger to the open A is a whole step. A to B is a whole step. B to C sharp is a whole step. And C sharp to D is a half step. So that's whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So 2 holes and a half, 3 holes and a half. Follow the same pattern starting on the 1st finger. And so this is going to be an E scale. E to F sharp is a whole, F sharp to G is a G sharp is a whole, and then a half step to A, and then whole, 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 half. So now these 2 fingers, the 3rd and 1st finger, are close together on this shape of scale. All right? And so now the next is the 2nd finger. In this case, it's going to be an F sharp scale, okay? Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So in this one, the half step comes between the 4th finger and the 1st finger of the next string. So none of the fingers are close together. You cannot see that half step physically as we have before. All right? And then finally, the 3rd finger, which is going to be G natural. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So the shape of this scale is the half step between the 1st and 2nd fingers. So those are the 4 major scale shapes on the violin, even though it gets trickier because let's say that we want to play an E flat scale. So that's starting on the 1st finger, even though it's the low 1st finger, it has the same pattern as the 1st finger start. Okay, and then there's one more thing that I wanted to show you, and that is how these scales are all tied together. In other words, if we start on the open string, so the 4th finger and the open string are the same. The next octave starts 1 finger back. So the next octave of G starts on the 3rd finger. If we had more octaves, it would start on the 2nd finger because the last octave started on the 3rd finger. So 1 finger back. Okay, so here's what it is I can play a G scale with any finger. 1st finger, 2nd finger, 3rd finger, and 4th finger. simply by following that, just learning those 4 scales, and you got all the scales that you need to know on the fiddle. Okay, now what do I do with these scales? Well, you figure out how to play songs from them. They're the very ingredients for songs, all right? But the thing that I do is I like to do my scale ascending and descending in thirds. So that means that I'm going to go up 3 notes. This is back to a D scale. And then E, E, so D, E, F sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, E, F sharp, G, A, F sharp, G, A, B, G, A, B, C sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, E, C sharp, D, E, C sharp, D, and then descending. And once you learn to do that on every scale, those are just improvisations and little runs that you can put in all sorts of songs. So let's see that I want to play You Are My Sunshine. Okay, so we're in the G chord, so first you got to learn how to do that scale, and then when it comes time to play You Are My Sunshine, you know, you'll be like, so that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's just kind of how you might use that. Stuff like that. So the reason I love that ascending and descending scale in thirds is because technically it's pretty difficult. And if you can learn how to do that from all 4 of those scale shapes, you've really increased your technical ability on how to play a violin or a fiddle. Okay? Now, there you go. That's a lot of information. If you have any questions, please ask me. And thanks for tuning in. And I appreciate you watching.